I'm on a bit of a time crunch here, so let's get going. The piece I picked was The Trench Warfare by Otto Dix. He spent 6 years working on it and completed it in 1932. The piece is a triptych consisting of 3 panels that show the beginning, middle, and end of a battle in the trenches, and the 4th one of the war wounded on the bottom. This piece is considered to be one of Otto's 2 masterpieces, the other being Metropolis. The Trench Warfare was painted in the style of New Objectivity. New Objectivity was a counterculture during the Golden 20s of Weimar Germany. It stressed realism and a lack of romanticism and acted as a counter-movement against German Expressionism. Along with George Gross and Max Beckmann, Otto Dix was one of the main artists of the New Objectivity movement. However, the movement died out like most German art with the rise of the Nazis. Otto Dix was born December 2, 1891. He took on an apprenticeship in 1906 to 1910 and joined the Academy of Applied Arts in Dresden. He volunteered for service in the German army at the start of the Great War. You know, back when everyone thought the year would be over by Christmas rather than a bloody 4-year-old deal with a bloodier sequel 20 years later and a 50-year spin-off that could have killed us all. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Otto Dix fought in the Somme, then the Russian front, and then the Spring Offensive, which were some of the German Empire's biggest and deadliest battles in the war. It was these memories of war that Otto Dix would paint in the years to come. He published Der Krieg, also known as The War, in 1924, which was a series of 50 sketchings about the horrors of the Great War. It was described as perhaps the most powerful, as well as most unpleasant anti-war statements in modern art. War Cripples and the piece I pulled inspiration from, The Trench Warfare, were displayed in the 1907 exhibition of degenerate art by the Nazis. However, even during Nazi occupation, Otto Dix never immigrated from Germany, knowing that his art could not go with him and would be destroyed. The top 3 panels of The Trench Warfare act to tell a story. On the left, German soldiers march off to war. In the middle, it's a scene of mangled bodies and ruined buildings on the battlefield. On the right, it's one of soldiers struggling to make their way back home. While this piece stresses realism, there is a little bit in the way of symbolism, mainly in the coloring, and how the German soldiers on the left are full of color, full of life, while the ones on the right are white, most likely covered in ash, but ultimately meant to give the appearance of them being ghosts. And below it all are the war wounded, the cripples, forgotten. The Weimar Republic was the interwar government of the German Empire, named after where its first assembly was held, as Berlin was too dangerous at the time. The Weimar Republic was forced to pay all of the war reparations enacted by the Entente in World War I. The government decided that it would be brilliant to just keep printing money until they could pay back the war debt. This led to rampant hyperinflation, which was only compacted by the Great Depression. This meant that ultimately the Republic was a failing state, most notably leading to Hitler in the following World War. So, on some basic level, I copied the color scheme of The Trench Warfare with the reds, browns, and grays in the piece. However, it was more the spirit of the piece that I drew inspiration of, as opposed to the actual physical piece. As I explained before, Otto Dix mainly painted about the topics that no one else in Weimar Republic would, namely the horrors of the Great War and war cripples. Keeping this in mind, I made my piece about what we don't talk about, how ultimately, we censor ourselves. There's a reason the news only shows fluff. It's not some government conspiracy. It's because we don't want to see the dark reality. We don't want to see the grim, or, worse to us, the contradictive to our view of our world. We turn away. That's what this piece embodies. We are intentionally blind, turning away from the dark reality, and forcing others to do the same.